everyone. Welcome to Kiwi Lane's Crop and Talk. Yes, we are back with the name Crop and Talk. I could not remember the other one to save the life of me, but I asked Susan if we could change it back, and she graciously put us back to Crop and Talk. So, welcome as you hop on. Say where you're from, and how much you know about Kiwi Lane. If you don't know anything, let us know. And if you do know anything, we would love to have you give us your ideas and maybe you've already done with this kit. This month's kit is called Fields of Joy. As you can see, I have one of the little templates out here. It is a windmill. Now, some of you may have seen this kit and wondered what you could do with it, right? Because a lot of it is geared toward Easter. I did on the PDF, I did tulip from Pella, Iowa. A lot of springy ideas, right? But I'm going to show you another way to use these templates, and it's not any of those. All right, you ready? So this here is my oldest grandson and my oldest granddaughter playing miniature golf. This picture inspired this layout. On one of the sentiment cards, it says silly goose. And I just had to use this because they lost the ball and neither one could get it from either side. And we called them such silly gooses. But this is what spurred it all. We're going to do mini golf. And there happened to be a windmill that you putted through it to get to the hole on the other side. So I thought, how fitting is it to go ahead and just use these templates for miniature golf? All right, so you guys all ready to do this? So I took a little bit of templates from the monthly kit, from the supporting, the ones that they pair them with this month, which is Sunnybrook Lane, ovals, briar crescents, and the Bunny Sprig Festival a la carte. Okay, so we're going to use one of every one. So if you don't have those in your collection, I highly recommend because they're super duper duper. All right, so I've got my hubby on tonight. He's going to be reading comments. His name is Lee. Lee, say hi.
Why, howdy, everyone.
And I've got all my templates. Yes, there's a lot of templates tonight.
We do have a Linda Miller on from Parker, Pennsylvania.
Well, hello, hello, hello. So how Kiwi Lane works, it's a layering system of various templates. And this gives you a design on what to create and how it's going to look before you even cut that first piece of paper, okay? This is a foolproof, fail-proof system. Foolproof, wonderful. I've been using it since 2010, and I absolutely do not scrapbook without it. All right, so we've pulled Sunnybrook Lane. I have 1A, 1B, and 2A and 2B. Now, there's another set, but all three of them in the Sunnybrook Lane pair together. And that's on purpose because of two different things. If you're designing a double layout, it's nice to have uniformity on both sides, right? So if you notice when they pair it together, then when you get ready to cut, you're going to put one on corresponding paper, trace, put it up here, trace a little bit. So you're going to have two cuts, 1, 2, and then you can put them back on the position that you had on your layout. So I'm going to do that right now. I actually did design this a little bit earlier, and because I was having so much fun. And plus I wanted to do a little prep work so that I didn't keep you guys more than the allotted time. So anyway, there's Sunnybrook 2A and 2B. Now I've got 1A and 1B, which I'm going to layer right on top. So I'm going to have two different patterns of paper. And again, those mate. We're going to put this one on this side, 1B. So that is the bones, the base of my layout. As you can see right now, I'm not staring at two blank pieces of paper. I already have some kind of a design on the layout. Now, the next part, which is really important, is where our pictures go. Before I do any embellishments, I've got my base. I want to do pictures. So I knew I had, see, I have 1, 2, 3, I think I have 7 pictures. Okay. So I know I have a 4x6. And I know I have a 4x4. and I have 4 3x4s. Okay. So this is how I kind of had it. I was just kind of laying them around. Well, at first I had this over here. I have a tendency to put my main picture off to the left. And sometimes that can be a hindrance for me because I get too much going on here and not enough balance on the side, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Okay. So let's take this one. This is where I originally had this. Okay. And then I have a 3x4 here, and I have a smaller one. It's about a 2x3 right here. And I don't have a template for that. So you're just going to have to kind of imagine. Well, here, we can just put here, I'll just turn it upside down. So that is the one I had, right? Okay. But when I'm looking at this is a lot going on in the middle. So I'm going to switch. Oh, I dropped my goose.
Yeah, I see we got Judith Zahn from Huntsville, Alabama.
Hello.
We got Ruby Harris on said, howdy to you guys too. She's from Drexel, Missouri.
Awesome.
We have Julie Hines on says, hi, Linda and Lee. Angela Bishop's on says, hello. She's from up in Indiana area.
So I'm going to do a little switch. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to do a switch. And I'm going to put this over here with my goodness, they don't want to get picked up tonight.
And I believe Julie's from up in New York.
Hopefully you guys are getting some better weather than you've had in the past. But as you can see, it looks a little more balanced, right? This is a big item. So this has to be where it's going to get attention, but not overpower the rest of my layout. So my pictures are kind of puzzled together in the middle. You could do it however you want, but this is how I decided. Now there's also mats, the photo mats. And I'm going to take that main one and I'm going to put a 4.5 by 6.5 mat right underneath. And you can see already how that actually bumps up the pictures even more, especially that main one. All right, so now I want to show you how to use the accessories to make the rest of the layout customized. All right, so this is from this month's kit. It's called Meadow, or the templates, and it's kind of a really nice place to put extra pictures if you need some more on your layout. For me though, I got a special treat. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them tonight. Now this is the one that came with the little bunny and the sprig, and it's a great thing to put a photo in. But what I want to do is I want to put it at the bottom of my windmill. Remember I told you that when they golf, they had to go through the windmill to get to the other side where the hole's at, right? So
you're going to do a 3D layout.
We're going to do a 3D layout. So this one is going to go here, like so. And I know this one goes here.
Tammy Walbrown says hello, also from Ohio.
Hello.
And Pam Wesson from rainy, chilly Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
That sounds like a country song, doesn't it?
We can use some rain here in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm telling you, we're only here just for a couple more weeks, but it is really dry. Really, really dry. Okay, so this one is from Meadow. This is number 3. I love the little flowers that they have in here in this kit this month, but I want to accent it over here and give that a little bit of extra oomph. All right. Then I've got this little bitty goose, and we're going to put this little goose right here.
I have a high from Lakewood Ranch, Florida.
Oh, I know where that's at. Hello, hello. All right, and this is another one from Meadow, this really cute little flower. And we're going to put it behind our little, some say goose, some say ducks. I say goose, but it is whatever you want it to be. And then I've got the little a la carte that comes with this one, right, with the little bunny. And I actually have 2 sets. So I thought I'd lost this one. I actually found it. But we're going to make a little something around here. And there'll be another one that goes here. So we're going to do a little wreath right there. Then the briar crescents. So briar crescents normally goes with the ovals, correct? But that does not necessarily mean that you have to use them all for just that. I'm going to use it as a little bit of a base here. And we're going to do another one right here. Okay. And then, yes, the oval. I have this little guy, and we're going to show you what we're going to do with that in just a little bit. So I have one of everything, and this is it. So if you guys want to take a quick snapshot before we get to creating with it, go right on ahead. And don't forget now, we want to hear what your comments are, what you've been doing, and if you've got the kit, what you created with. I would love to hear all what you have designed.
Well, Linda Miller, I think she has good comment here. She said she tends to buy way too much stuff and she gets overwhelmed. She can't get anything done. So she started to use Kiwi Lane. And it seems to help me get more done. And I love how it turns out, the results.
Yes,
So.
Kiwi Lane is so, it's a complete system. You don't need anything else. Now, if you guys have seen some of my work, I do like to zhuzh it up. But like I said, I've been using this since 2010. So I have a lot of stuff.
I had a lot from before.
I did. So needless to say that, you know, we all have a little extra than what we probably should have, but it's okay. Kiwi Lane will help you use up that stash. Okay. So don't feel bad if you got a lot. You're not alone. Okay. All right. So I since I wanted to use that silly goose thing, I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and use the goose paper tonight, right? And on the back is a really nice gray, but I think I'm gonna use this for my top border. And then on the bottom one, I think I'm going to use the reverse. So we're going to use one sheet for both templates. Okay. I'm going to cut the first one out though on my goose. Both of them are going to be laying in the same direction. Let me show you this. So this is a one-way pattern, right? So if you have one set going this way and one set going that way, if you're going to use this, one set of ducks or geese are going to go this way and the other one's going to go like that, because there's not enough room to do two different cuts. So unless you buy two kits, but since mine are going all, and it's a one-way directional pattern, it's all going the same. We're just going to go ahead and lay it out, pencil it, and get the first two pieces done. This is Sunnybrook Lane 1A and 1B. Oh, I hear the doves. Does that mean it's going to rain? Usually it does when the doves are going.
I mean, we used to call rain crows.
Yeah, we call them rain crows. It took me years to figure out they were doves. Oh, it's been really beautiful today. Although I did not go.
Windy.
A little windy. I did not go outside today because the grass pollen is very high right now. And I'm kind of stuffed up a little bit. So
Lisa S says, howdy, Hansons. It's a beautiful day in Iowa today.
We're going to be up that way shortly. We're leaving here, leaving Fort Myers May the 12th, and we will be heading to Cedar Rapids, well, actually Waterloo, Iowa for the first jaunt. And we'll be going to Cedar Rapids, Iowa to Scrapmania and doing a stay and play there on May the 23rd, right? And then June 13th. So if you're in that area, we'd love to have you come and join us. All right. So we got those two. And now we're going to use our scissors. I love the Tim Holtz scissors. If you haven't found a pair of scissors yet that you really, really like, I highly recommend you try out the Tim Holtz because they are really nice scissors. They self-sharpen also. So these I've had since what? Had to been at least 2011. I got them right after I started the Kiwi Lane, maybe 2010.
It was sometime around then, but Brenda Tackett says hello. It's a beautiful day in Kentucky. I booked a lot of time in Kentucky today. We're going to be along I-75. We're going to be staying in London, Kentucky for almost a week, and then up north to Lexington, catching some sights before we go over to a scrapbooking event between Cincinnati and Louisville. I think it's Bedford.
Yes. In fact, I have, if anybody's, you can read that. If anybody is in the area in September in the Louisville area, Sabrina Gish is hosting a crop, and we're going to be there in for her crop in that time. And there's an email address. Lee's going to read it to you. And so if you would like to get more information about it, you can email Sabrina.
Yeah, and it's Sabrina Gish. So it's SEBRINA.GISH@gmail.com. Again, Sabrina.gish@gmail.com.
Thank you. So I am using the Tim Holtz Distress Ink Vintage Photo. This has been the ink of choice for Kiwi Lane for many, many years. But if you have something else that's your favorite, you can use whatever you like. Now I know that some of our creative partners and some of our just our Kiwi Lane users like to take the color of the paper and match it with the color of the ink. And that's perfectly fine too. You can do that. So I used to do it, but I haven't done it in quite a while. So I need to get those back out and do them.
I have Catherine on too, says hello, and she's in Key West, Florida.
Hey,
There's some friends that just came back. We're over in Fort Myers. So we're over on the Gulf side. But
we're at a RV resort called Golden Palms, and we bought a lot last year here because we absolutely love it here, and it's just a great group that's here, and we got about 100 sites, I think, is what it is. Cape Cod.
110. But Gail joined, says, oops, I'm a bit late. We're having hurricane strength wind gust. And
No,
it's making her allergies go crazy.
see, that's what's happened to me, Gail. Exactly the same thing. And the grass, the pollen. I woke up. Well, I had trouble getting to sleep last night, and then this morning I was like, oh, I sounded like a grizzly bear, and so I took some allergy vitamins and they're doing fresh fruit.
We did the miracle cure. I told her she didn't get her voice back up to snuff. I'd do the thing for her tonight.
Oh yeah, that made me work real quick, guys. All right.
It was a miracle.
It was. All right. So that was Sunnybrook 2B and 2A. All righty.
Well, Catherine said they had 30+ mile per hour winds down at Fort Key West.
Ooh.
And I think we were around 20 miles here, but there's some fires burning south of here and down past Naples. And this wind just doesn't help that at all. And it's so dry.
Yeah. They got us under a fire
Warning.
extreme fire warning or something like that. All right. I'm going to cut that just a little more because I don't think I got it straight.
We don't have everything kind of booked up yet, but we're getting pretty good.
Lee does all the booking for us.
Yeah, we're going to spend some time in Branson this year. And we're going to spend some time in Central Tennessee, and then up in the Plateau and over to Pigeon Forge, back to Nashville area. And then, like I said earlier, head down to Chattanooga and work our way up 75 and hit London, Kentucky, and then on up just north of Lexington, and then up to close to Cincinnati.
And then where?
Well, from there, we're going to start heading back down, see if we have to do anything more to the coach for maintenance. But if not, going to head down to the Charlotte area.
Go and see Susan and Abby if she's around.
I got to give Susan a hard time in person. I man up to do that recently.
Oh golly, we love Kiwi Lane and the people that are part of that. And so they are family company. Susan and her sister-in-law Shiloh and her mother-in-law Debbie started the company. And if you don't know the story, it's
ask them.
But I will tell you, it's because out of a need and a love for the art of scrapbooking, and there was nothing in the industry that helped. And so they come up with this to help. So, embellishments do cost a lot. So they made their own embellishments. And the paper is the best in the industry, in my opinion. It's not too thick and it's not too thin.
Well, Gail said they had wind gusted over 46 mile an hour. So she said, so it's not really hurricane strength, but it sure felt like it.
We had, I think it was 14 miles an hour. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put these down because there is nothing that has to go underneath and nothing I have to shift. So I'm just using my adhesive tape runner, and whatever your adhesive is of choice, that's what you use. All right, we're just gonna.
Deborah Johnson said, she says, I hear you girls. My car is now a lovely color of a dust yellow pollen. We don't have grass pollen yet, but ours is currently the tree pollen.
Ugh.
Remember how we used to get that? It would be like that yellow dust all over the.
Oh, I know. Well, it was dusty the other day. I didn't know if you noticed that when we went to town, and it was just. I mean, it blows off, but that means it's in the air, and yeah, it's not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. All right. Whoops. All right. I'll put this one down. And so for some of you who just started to watch here, we're not doing Easter. We're not doing spring. We're not doing flowers, or like the one I did was from the Tulip Festival in Pella, Iowa. Not doing that. We're doing miniature golf. So we have a little.
Featuring the grandkids again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Well, we have a little mini putt-putt course that actually has a windmill. And let me get that straight. And you have to hit the ball through the bottom of the windmill while the blades are moving. And so I thought this is perfect. So if you guys have played a course like that, this paper collection would be just great for you. All right, there we go.
Or if the wind's blowing like it is right now, it'd be great for you.
Oh my gosh. So I don't have very many Easter pictures left to scrapbook. In fact, I don't even know if I have maybe 2 years left to scrapbook. They've all been done. So it was hard for me to come up with more Easter pictures. I got more tulip pictures, but definitely don't have. I'm gonna move these out of the way.
I agree with you, Deborah. She says, Lee, what better subject to document than our grandchildren? Yeah. And
Definitely. All right. So we're gonna work on this windmill. Okay. I have a piece cut out that we have for the bottom, which I cut out of a light blue. Okay. Which is gonna go there. And I think on the top here, I think I would like to use, they have a little dark one.
I see I got one that says, hello, y'all. Glad to join and see your creation. So I know that's got to be Joan Atchie down in Georgia.
All right. So we're going to take this top part. Remember, we're going to use this as the bottom of the windmill. Now, if you don't like that angle, you can take it and square it off. But the reason I did it was because there's angles here, right? And to match, I just left those up there. Okay.
I do have a technical question when we have time. Well, Linda Miller from up there in, I think it was Hunter, Pennsylvania, wants to know what kind of tape runner that comes off so easy. Like you lifted that piece up over there. And
this is the 3M ATG gun, Advanced Tape Glider. And I use the refills from Scrap Mania. They run about $3 a roll. And it gives you, it's a little like repositionable. And so it gives you a little extra time to get it to, if you don't want it where it's at, you can move it a little bit. So it's kind of like the liquid glue that I use. I use Barely Art. It gives you a few seconds. It's a few seconds longer than like the Art Glitter Glue. Art Glitter Glue, once it's down, it's not going anywhere. So, all right.
Well, Ruby Harris says, I haven't even opened mine up yet. I just can't seem to come up with any pictures to use of this yet.
Well, this is mini golf. You could use it for that.
You could use this from around the farm. Pictures you have at the farm there, Ruby, I think would be great. I think there's a lot of different things could use. So I think that's one of the biggest things when you get the kids, don't get yourself cornered into a corner of this is what it is.
It's not
because
theme specific.
it's not always as it appears.
Yep, you can use it for whatever you want.
Those that watched the other night, I kept seeing a lizard with the one template that Linda was using and said, it's not a lizard. I said, well, it sure could be. And, or an alien.
Now, normally I would detach this, but I feel confident enough tonight just to do it like that. Okay, so I'm not going to decorate this up yet tonight, but I am going to do this.
I see Rochelle's on from up in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome, welcome. All right, I am going to ink it up. And the reason we use the ink is to hide any flaws. It also gives it a distinction, separates it from the different patterns and the different colors. So it's a nice thing to ink it. I am going to put a different top on there, but you can see now how that just kind of blends it all in one. But let's take this template. Where'd I was trying to read? And I'm going to go ahead and do the picture for it. Okay. I want this one.
Well, Gail said she's using this collection to scrap her daughter's Dutch.
There you go.
Dutch Brothers. I got to roll back up. Sticker obsession. So think outside the box, Ruby.
There
It really
you
is
go.
versatile. If you ignore the themes, and you can use the other side, the themes don't work.
Now I am going to go ahead. I'm using the Micron 0.5, and this just makes a tiny little line all the way around. I'm hoping it does. Can I see it?
Rochelle said they're eating chicken
No.
and noodles. That's probably what you need, Linda.
Chicken, and I just need the broth. I'm going to use a different one. This one's kind of dried up, I think. We'll check it later, but I think that one's dark. Go back to using my Le Pen, which is another fine tip marker. And I'm going to go ahead and mark it, but I'm not going to cut it on that line, okay? Because this is this size, right? So what I'm going to do, and I have to put the picture underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it just outside the line so that I have a place to glue the picture.
I have
On the
Martha Anderson says, hello, everyone. I haven't scrapbooked in a long time. I enjoyed it when I did this. Is just the video I needed to watch.
Oh, well, good.
So yeah, hopefully this helps. But I did want to go back to what Deborah said earlier. I was talking about, the grandkids, what else? It's the best thing that there is to scrapbook. One of the recent ones I brought up, and I'll probably mess it up a little bit, but I had a person that come to me and said, we think back, a lot of us, 1970 don't seem like that long ago. But if you stop, think about it, that was 35 years ago. So if you go back 35 years before that, and you start to get back, and you start looking at times, or you look at where you're at today, all of a sudden you're back to like 1915. So if you look at the amount of time and how fast this went, take that away from where you started and go back in time, it just really just shows you how fast the generations go.
Definitely.
You're scrapbooking your grandkids today, and tomorrow your grandkids will be scrapbooking their grandkids.
Yep. Exactly. All right. So I went ahead and inked the center. And I've got my circle that I can line it up with.
And Candy Fudge put an answer also to Linda and said she uses the Creative Memories repositionable tape runner.
Yep.
And it easily moves as needed, and then it stays the longer it is attached.
That's what this is. It works the same exact way.
And I think you might still have one of the Creative Memories ones. I know you used to.
I do. I have the vellum one. The vellum tape is really, really nice too.
And you're right, Linda. I can't even add anymore. Yeah, 1970 was 50 years ago. I couldn't get my math to come out. So if you go back in time, you're back to 1920. But anyway, you just think about those things, and it just really gets there. And you can think about your grandparents. If they did the same thing with them, probably that person then would have had the opportunity to listen to Abraham Lincoln when he was still with us, so it just shows you how fast time goes. And that's what makes this so special, because you're able to capture those memories in a
Right.
really professional, easy, relaxing methodology.
So you guys know that I like to use different textured paper. And one of my favorites is burlap. And so I'm going to take a little bit of burlap tonight and make the top of the windmill out of burlap. Okay, so I'm going to lay it on. This is how I want it. I'm going to slide it off, slide it under, and flip it over because I can't draw on the burlap side, but I can on the back side, which is paper. So I'm just going to line it up here.
They're all just trying to help me, Gail. That's all. She said, stop telling him the right amount of time. I was starting to feel pretty young for a second.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Trisha joined from up in the Lansing, Michigan area. She said
Hello.
she's late. She thought it started at 7:30.
Hey, we were almost late too. So you guys see me pull this in and out. I use a nasty mat. Why do I call it a nasty mat? Because it's nasty, right? After gluing on it, cutting on it. Plus that keeps my back mat
And your layout.
and my layout free, hopefully, from getting icky.
And the good news is it's not an issue at all, Trisha. Being a little bit late, you can go back and watch a replay on these, and
Yeah.
it just makes it really great. Or if there's something you wanted to go back and just check on, or make sure you heard what you heard.
Now, the reason that I do the burlap over top is because it does leave a little bit of fuzz when you cut.
And it can
Not
also
not a
mess
lot.
up your ink pad too.
And plus, yeah. Plus, when you ink burlap or glitter paper, I like to daub it because otherwise it gets little fibers on top of my dauber.
Martha wants to know what's the glue and glue holder you're using.
Okay, so Lee was talking during that time, so I didn't say anything. This is called a glue press. This is by My Sweet Petunia. I got this also at Scrap Mania. And what it does is this holds the glue like this, and you put it in there, and there's a little pillow it sets on, and it won't leak out. This is a place for your cap, and it'll stay like that as long as it's in the center of that pillow. It will stay like that indefinitely. And
Some
it's
people have had challenges with it, but in
you
general,
got
they work pretty good.
yeah, but you got to make sure it gets centered in that pillow because if you don't, it will give you issues. Oh, that's cute. Look at that on top. Look at that. Woohoo. All right. Now, I'm not going to do this here yet, okay? Because what I want to do is I want to get to the other side over here and show a couple other things. I'm going to go ahead and put my pictures down. You guys okay with that? Let me get, I like to ink my pictures, especially if I don't mat them. If I mat them, that's a different story, but I like my pictures inked.
It's usually just best for you to ink them all.
Yep. All right. I don't want to ink that.
Good.
Whoops. It's been a long day.
No, but Linda prints most of her own pictures, and it's very helpful because when she trims the pictures, that white core, or you want to call it, shows through quite a bit, and that really makes them look good.
I use the Picture Mate by Epson. It's a Picture Mate 400, and it's a one big square cartridge that it uses for the ink, so you don't have to deal with a bunch. And then it comes. You can't really get the paper anymore, which is weird, or with the ink, but you can get the you get the paper separate and then the ink separate, and it costs right around, I want to say, if I figured it up right, I get over 150 pictures because I print more than one. Like 2 3x4s is a 4x6, so I get 2 pictures on one. But if I were to print just all 4x6s, you would get probably 170, 175 4x6s out of a thing of ink and the paper. So
Starting to sound like a math class.
yeah,
I like it.
but I think it averaged for me, I want to say it averages between 4 to 5 cents a picture. And here's the thing, by me printing them myself, I pick what I want. I don't print them all. Hence, if you're used to sending in a big batch and just picking from that batch and discarding the rest, that is amount of money that you have spent, but it's not useful.
But
That makes
Linda
sense?
does have many boxes of pictures that.
Oh, we got how many generations? 5 generations, 6 generations of pictures?
Yep.
I think.
She has plenty, but we live in a motorhome, so carrying, cases and cases of pictures just doesn't work.
I got a few staged. He doesn't know where they're at.
Oh, I probably know where they're at. I just tried to ignore.
All right. I'm going to set this one up here because we're going to work on that one next.
And I don't know how many of you saw, but one of the Osmond boys had passed away. I think it was Alan.
Alan. Mhm.
This morning in his 70s. Linda's a real big Osmond fan.
I want to go see Donnie. That's one of my bucket lists. We were going to do it this year, but we decided to do the East Coast instead. Okay. So there, it's really starting to look like a layout. Look at that. But I'm not going to hear anything down yet until I get the rest of these done. So here's one of the pre-works I did. So this one, I went ahead, I traced the entire outside, traced the inside, and then I used, let me grab a hold of it, this thing called the slice tool. Some of you know what it is. It's basically an X-Acto knife, but it's got a porcelain blade and it won't cut you, but it'll cut the paper. And you just glide it like a pencil and it cuts just like an X-Acto knife. All right, so I did the exact one of that.
Linda Miller did ask a question. What
Yes.
was the photo system called again?
Photo system. You're talking about to make the photos or the ones I created with? There's photo templates. These are the ones you create with, so you know where your placement is and you can kind of know what size you want. And then when I go to my printer, for instance, this was a 4x6. This is a 4x4. These are 3x4s. So when I have them ready to print, I know that, hey, I want these two to be 3x4s. I run it through run it in my PictureMate, and et cetera for each one. So I'm not wasting money and time, because sometimes it takes a while to go to the store and pick them up.
Question is more about the printer.
Oh, the printer. Okay, so it's a PictureMate. It's Epson PictureMate 400, and there is an app on my phone, an Epson app that you can pick what sizes and what collage you want, and it works. It works amazing. So look up PictureMate 400.
Now, with that said, Gail said, I've done the math on the Canon selfie, and she thinks it's about 40 cents for a 4x6.
Ooh.
So she said yours is much cheaper.
Oh yeah, because you're printing. I don't know how many you can get on one 4x6. I can print anything from a 1x1 all the way up to a 5x7 on my printer, and I probably waste. The smallest I've wasted is probably the 2x3, which is this one. Because sometimes I don't use 2x3s in my layout, right? But I'll do a 4x4 over the top, the 2x3. And other than that, there really isn't any waste. The largest I've probably wasted is maybe a side of the 3x4. I've only printed one, but not the other side.
Well, and it could be, we could recheck our math. We might be actually more than 4 cents off.
Nope.
Gail, but I know it's less than 40 cents for sure.
Oh gosh, it was 4 cents a print from what I got. Because okay, I printed 75 photos for Reminisce when I did their layouts, and I printed then another 100, and the cartridge was 35. So take 175 into 35, and the paper, I'm trying to think what the paper is. I think it's like $6.99 or $9.99.
Gonna make my head hurt and keep.
I know. So you'd have to do the math, Lee. I'm not sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this piece up, and I'm going to ink the places that are already cut out, and then I'm going to show you what we're gonna do with it. I made hot dogs for dinner. I did something really quick. So hot dogs and strawberries. What else did we have? Cheese. We had some cheese left over from the other night. So that was our dinner. Now Lee's drinking a ton of water. You hear water running is him. Oh golly. But it was one of those days. I actually have been working getting the RV ready to go. And so I reorganized the pantry this morning. I reorganized my pots and pans. What else did I reorganize? Something else. Anyway, getting ready to rock and roll. Okay. So now that I have this, you guys are probably wondering what I'm putting underneath, right? Well, we're going to go to the sentiment cards. All right. We're going to use that oval that I was telling you about. Now, the sentiment cards are wonderful, but if you don't like those, there's a really pretty kind of a grayish purple on the back side, okay? But I am going to use these. Let's see. I love the goose theme. Let's see. Can I get? Nope, can't get it there. All right, so I'm going to take this one. I'm going to trace the inside of the smallest oval. Make sure I get it all. Yep. Okay, this is the silly goose. I love that saying. I'm going to do the one below. It's turning just a tad. There we go.
Gail said she usually does 3x4s, 2x2s, and 2x3s, not much smaller than that. And she tries not to waste any space. She prefers just doing batch printing through a printing service. And she only uses the selfie if she needs to, kind of more
Yeah.
structurally.
But Gail, how much do you not use out of that batch? Do you go through everything before you send it in? See, that when I talk with a lot of people, that is the biggest problem, is they'll just print a batch, but they'll only maybe use a fourth to a third of it. So that's where the savings comes in, having your own printer.
I think a lot of people today, they'll do it from their phone. So they are just picking out, and do a dump of the ones that they want to go to the printing service. Where it used to be, you did a whole roll of film.
Right.
You had to do a roll of film.
Right. And
For
sometimes
those
you
that
do,
don't know what a roll of film is.
and sometimes you do doubles because you'd be scrapbooking with somebody else, and anyway.
I want one of those.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it went. All right. So we're gonna go this way around. We're just gonna cut these little ones
Appreciate
out.
the comments, so Gail. That's really
Yes,
helpful.
definitely. I mean, it's a personal preference. You can, if you like printing your own, print them. If you like somebody else doing it, then let them do it.
And Walgreens and those places, they need to make a living too.
Yep.
Just think about the poor people from Kodak and some of the other places.
Oh my gosh. Well, my granddaughter, she has been wanting to start photography. And I told her, I said, well, I have the old film ones. I have the digital ones if you want those cameras. And she's just like, yes, everybody's getting, in her age, is getting back into this old fashioned way of.
That must be Audrey.
Yeah, it's Audrey. Yep.
Yeah, she's the collector.
So, and I'm fine with that.
Gail said she uses about 75% of her batch printing. She picks and chooses, and she even edits before she sends them in.
I do that too. I edit my photos most of the time. Some of them don't need editing, but I can
the
edit.
ones I'm in, there's nothing you can do to make them better.
But I can edit the pictures in the app before I print them also. All right. Now I'm going to get these inked up. I love the little sentiments. There are so many you can choose from in this collection. They've even got the design lines if you want to use that, which we might cut one out and see. Might be kind of cute on the bottom of the windmill. All right, so I've got these three, right? That doesn't fill up the spot very much, though, does it? What I did do, so I took this and I grabbed some vellum.
You can make a picture frame.
Yeah, I'm making a picture frame.
Then you can elevate the little.
So I took my vellum and I traced it around the outside perimeter of the square. Okay, I just used the top one, but I did 3 of them. All right. Then I took those squares and I ran them through an embossing folder. All right. It was Spellbinders. It was called Linen, but you can use anything you want. All right. And what was really cool is it left, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but it left almost like if you sanded it, which I thought was a nice little look. But now I have the squares.
And you're able to do different colors, because if you do it all
Yep.
one color, you would have done just one big rectangle.
So now I'm going to put my nasty mat down, take my glue press. I'm going to go around the square. All right.
Like zip it around the Monopoly table
Yeah.
or Monopoly board.
And just put it down. There's one. I don't have to ink these because they're not showing. So there's one. I'm going to make sure I got it the right direction. Yep, just like that. All right, so I'm going to go glue this one. We'll stick this one down. Oop. I slid it too
Stick it
hard.
right to your fingers.
No, I think I pushed it too hard when I was trying to rub it. Okay, there's 2. Let's go ahead and do the third one.
Got the right way?
Yep. I'll do. Okay. And there's our 3. Pretty nifty. Okay, so these little guys are going to go in the middle. I'm going to use something, though, to make them stand up a little bit. I'm going to pop them. I love pop-ups. I use elevators. Lee calls them elevators. And I like using the different thicknesses. I have 0.8 here. So I'm going to put 0.8.
Gail said, that's cute. Do those adhere pretty well to the vellum?
Yes, they do.
I assume you
better
can't
than
peel them off there very much, though. If
you can't what?
probably peel them off that vellum very easy.
What do you mean peel them off?
Tear the vellum up, I would think.
Oh, no.
If you wanted to move.
Oh, that vellum is really strong. Nope. Okay, there's one. I'm gonna do this one. So what else do you think you could use this for? Like you said, farm, you could use this kit for. You could use it for baby. And you could use it for toddlers. You could use it for heritage pictures. I've got a lot of, my family had a farm. And so we've got a lot of farm pictures. And it'd be really cute with black and white or those sepia pictures of your farm.
Linda did a layout a couple years ago. Her grandfather, way back when, fell off a windmill and he broke his back, if I remember right. And all the neighbors come to help at the farm. Then unfortunately, he passed away a couple weeks later. But, so that's a bad memory with it. My dad in World War II, he served quite a bit of time in Holland and Belgium and where a lot of that was. So, if you've traveled in some of those countries, we have quite a Dutch culture in the U.S. also. A lot of things.
Okay.
I think of, Holland, Michigan. I think of some of the other places.
Now, for this side, remember the little sprig, right? I want to bring that color over here. So I took the sprig and made it, I out of each color. And
Is
we're-
this the vellum?
This is the vellum.
And then
Yep.
did you etch that too to make
No,
it?
this did just come out that way. It was kind of a happy accident. I think I'll put this on here.
Pop right around, don't they?
Yes, they do. Okay, that will work. All right, so now to get those on there, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my tape runner on this. I think I'm gonna try it and see. I really don't want to glue it. Just got to be careful. And then I'll tuck it underneath. This tape it works really good with vellum, the one that I got from Scrapmania. It doesn't show like some of the other adhesive. All right.
And it's a little forgiving, but yet once it sticks pretty good.
Yep. Okay.
It's what you want, what you really, really want.
Okay. There's one. And I ran these through the exact same embossing folder, the Spellbinders linen. Like I said, you can use anything you have. Embossing gives you a nice texture, and I'm all about texture and something that appeals to the eye.
And it's a little different than your crimper, even though your crimper is pretty good at that too.
Yeah.
Just different.
I want to make sure I get Maxwell's head there.
He'd have a hard time nowadays. He's about 6'1" compared to those
Yes.
pictures.
He's a little bit bigger there. All right, one more here. Just a little time. But like I said, I went ahead and done this prep work ahead of time. I didn't figure you guys would mind too much. As long as I told you how it was done, right?
Yeah, because you guys probably want to watch her do all that.
It took me a little bit. Oh, gotta go just a little more. There we go. That's cute. That is cute. All right, so I know that one goes there.
Sorry, Gail.
What?
Now that song's gonna be in my head. Now tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Yeah, that
She won't let me sing anymore, but I can at least
It
state
costs him
some.
$20 every time he opens his mouth.
No, I didn't sing it. I just stated the words.
All right, now we need to bring in this other pretty color. This, I love these patterns. It's just a nice kind of a corally orange, and we've got yellow over there. So let's see, we've got our goose, we've got our flower. Let's go ahead and do the flowers here first. I've done the sprigs. Those can go over there unless I need another one. We've got our goose.
And besides the replay, Linda will post this in the circle when it's all done.
Yep.
And the finished product, she'll list all the templates she used and all the other odds and ends, correct?
Yep.
All the accessories.
All right. So this green, yes, I use green as a background, but it's okay to use another shade of green.
Different pattern.
Just a different pattern, right? So I'm going to do the entire flower because I want it as a base. Now, if you don't want to use your printed paper, you can use a cardstock, which is fine. I wonder if I do have a green cardstock here. Ooh, you know, it'd be pretty.
Martha says, I like how this is coming out. Great job.
I have, some green glitter. That would be cute for the flowers. The stems. I think it would be cute. All right. This was in my stash, guys. I love, like I said, I love the texture paper. I love what burlap does. I love what vellum does. And glitter paper, I don't get the stuff that sheds, okay? But I do love a little glitter.
Linda Miller says she loves the colors.
So I want to do
Gail says she's easily susceptible to getting songs stuck in my head. All you have to do is mention one and I'll live in my head for a while. Happens all the time, so no worries.
Do I want to do just a touch of glitter? Yes, let's just do a touch of glitter. All right, so we've got this one. I can't write on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it off, slide it under, and flip it over. I put it in the position I want. And then did the slide, slide, flip. And this paper does not write well with pencil. So I'm going to use my lip pen. And
Even
this,
on the back side, it don't work well with pencil.
no, it's
It's
a
kind of that
glossy.
yeah.
Yep, it's a glossy one. Aren't you guys impressed on how much Lee knows?
Yeah, I could have covered tonight. I just got to think of another song to say the words to get Gail get some other sound in her head bouncing.
That's cruel. That is so cruel. All right, so I've got that one. Let's take this one. I want it this direction. That's how I want it. Slide it off, slide it under, and flip it over.
Deborah says, I agree, Gail. The geese images and the vellum backing is delightful.
Well, like I told you, this layout, we have a lot of golf pictures, okay? A lot of mini golf, a lot of regular golf, but just using golf paper all the time, first of all, golf paper is hard to find. And number two, it's usually the same. It's very masculine. It's for kids, it's
boring.
Thank you. I didn't want to say that, but thank you.
Yeah, you just got to call it like it is. Why, hello, Lori Cox says hello from Kansas.
Hello. All right, so let's cut these out.
Hopefully some little storms missed you, Lori, that came across there.
I missed.
And you should probably put on your nasty mat if you don't have it.
Why?
Isn't that glittery paper?
It's on the shed.
That one don't shed?
I don't buy the stuff that sheds. I learned my lesson on that. I wear glitter for days if I did that.
I remember.
Yeah, no.
Gail says, right, Deborah. I'm now trying to think of what else I can put in vellum windows. There's all kinds of things you can do. I know Linda's used a lot of vellum in the back, in the front.
On the top, on the bottom. Wait, you see what I did with the layers of the I'm going to give it away. The layers for the title. Okay. I've already got that done too.
Lori said it missed us, but it got others before she's at Kansas.
I have a cousin that lives around Wichita. And when my aunt lived there, my aunt and uncle, when it stormed there, oh my gosh. She says it'd be nothing to see a twister out her window.
It's not nothing in Iowa this year. Our daughter got a picture the other day. Just a little bit of a funnel, and then down on the ground was the big dust cloud.
As you can see, I'm using the same scissors. I'm not switching. These work just fine. You turn the paper with your left hand, and then with your right hand, just keep cutting. Try not to go to the tip unless you're at the end. If you do go to a tip, it's you may have a little blip in your paper, so you may have to go back and touch it up. But if you don't, and you just keep that one cut flow, you will never have any flaws.
You know, that's another song for you too, Gail. I'm just thinking here, I saw Lori's from Kansas, thinking Kansas and dust in the wind. And you said it's over 46 mile an hour winds today out there where you're at. So just think about dust in the wind, little acoustic guitar.
You're mean.
Playing the minor chords.
You're mean. Oh, that's just enough pop of color. Look at that. I do like it.
Deborah want to know, do you have the package for your spellbinders embossing folder?
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
the
get
linen.
it recently?
Probably last year.
Is it still available from Scrapmania?
Yes, it is. It's Spellbinders linen. It's the big one. It's like the I'll run back here and grab it in just a second.
You can walk. You don't have to run.
I gotta walk 40 foot to get to it. And 40 foot back. Okay. That's cute. Okay, we got our pop of color. But I like to do some layering. So we're going to take another color. And I think, do I want the orange or do I want the yellow? Let's do the yellow on this one. All right, so this is how I got it. Put it right there. No, this way. I'm looking at the pattern. The pattern goes like this. So I want to see. That'll work right there. Pencil, pencil. Uh-uh. Hello. Where did I lay my
Hello.
pencil? I lost my pencil, honey. Did you take my pencil? Oh, here it is. Did you reach over there and take it?
No,
Mm.
can't really say the thought crossed my mind. Annie.
All right. Now you may see little cutouts, like the windmill has windows, and you can cut those out like I did for those. You can also just cut. You can take this, cut them out, and then put something underneath like that. You can also cut the windows out of a different paper, place it on top, or you can doodle it with a pen.
Put little faces in the window.
Anything like that. Yep.
They also have already had the song Dust in the Wind in my head today. It pops in every time I look outside and see the dust blowing through the valleys.
All right.
Remember that show way back in the 60s?
I do.
The Big Valley. The Big Valley.
Oh, it got warm in here all of a sudden. Whew. Wind stopped blowing, maybe. Is that what it is?
No, it's still blowing. I can see the trees blowing.
Now, these little pieces I am keeping because I'm going to make enamel dots with it. I take my hole punch, a regular hole punch, punch out the patterns I want, and then I put my nasty mat down and put liquid glossy accents on top.
You really like doing it with the glossy paper too, I know.
Oh, with
And
any
you
kind.
typically use circled. You got other punches too. You could do them different if you wanted.
So I'm going to do the whole flower and I'm going to off center it just a little.
I agree with you, Lori.
What's that?
She said, I always think of the Wizard of Oz every time we have storms in Kansas.
Yeah. We actually had one in Iowa.
Little pretty.
That made me laugh. Okay, let me ink them up on the side.
See the
Ink this.
because.
I'm gonna use my. Okay. I'll bet you can't find it because it's sitting in the closet. I'll have to go back.
Tell me what it is I'm looking for.
Nah. Well, okay. On the floor of the closet, right as you go in the doorway, right there, you'll see my machine sitting there.
Yep.
With the plates.
Yep.
In the plates, in
Yep.
amongst them, is a piece of paper, and the folder is right there with it.
And you want the folder.
And the plates.
Laura said I got him started now. Yeah, next to me, don't carry on wayward son. Anyway.
The folder and the paper that goes with it. It's just right there in the doorway, right by my machine. That'll probably work easier. I'll let you do it. So do I want to
She's just trying to get rid of me for a bit. I don't
want you to get, I don't want to get rid of you. Okay. I do like it like that. All right, so let's go to this side. And let's trace just the top of the flower. Yeah, let's just do the top. And go right here. Oh, make sure that's the right direction. Make sure before I start cutting. Yep. They may look like they're symmetrical, but they aren't all the time. All right, so we're just gonna do the top. There we go.
I know you probably didn't need it all, but grab it and put it together.
Oh, no, I don't need all that. I just need the folder and the paper. That's all I need. Okay. This one. No, they've been having really bad storms, like Lee said earlier, up where we're from. No. This right here. Pick up the bottom plate. This right here.
Okay.
You take that back. I don't miss those at all. I mean, I know it can get stormy anywhere, but when we had a derecho go through, I watched the huge walnut trees and maple trees and evergreen trees completely fall, and it was so sad. And I fell out of love with our property because we'd lost so many trees. And when Lee decided to go full-time RVing, I'm like, yep, I don't want to be here. They called it like an inland hurricane 3, and it was not pleasant. Okay, so I'm gonna put it down just a little bit like that. Let's use a pop-up. We're gonna do 0.4 this time. And here it is. I'm gonna put this on top of here. I need to ink the bottom piece. Okay. Get this one. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know where to go look.
It was good information on where it was. Usually I tell him something, he comes back with the wrong one, or just doesn't find it at all. And then when I go to look, he's like, and it's right in front of me, he said, that was not there. I said, yeah, it was. So this time I give you good information. I didn't give you bad information.
Gail said Midwest storms can be brutal.
Yes, they are. So early on, we told you we're going to be doing some crops. Like I said, we'll be at Scrap Mania May 23rd and June 13th. We're also going to be at Lucy Fearnow's Moments to Milestones in Sturgis, Michigan. That is in June also, right? And then we're going to be at
Let's try, let's see, June
you getting the exact ones? I'm using 0.4 on this one too.
June 15th.
We'll be at a stay and play there. She's also a creative partner with Kiwi Lane. And then we'll be hopefully in Crossville with Nikki Probst. And then
that's
no, Brenda Bailey. And we're trying to see if we get to Nikki. We're not 100% sure, but we might.
I think it'll be Brenda and hopefully
Brenda.
the 20th of July, the day before our anniversary. That's Maxwell's birthday.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do something there in Crossville, except they're expecting our first grandchild.
I know. And then we'll be with Sabrina in Louisville. And then I'm not sure.
Actually, Bedford, and that is like the 17th of September, 18th, 19th, and I think also the 20th.
All right, we're gonna use this one and these out of this paper. This is the back of the yellow, okay? And I'm gonna do.
And then hopefully that last weekend of September, we'll be able to hook up with Susan.
Yes. And then if there's, I mean, if you guys are in that kind of area, you want us to come, we will come see you.
If we can make it work. There might be one more yet here in the Fort Myers area. I'm not sure. There's a lady that reached out that's used Kiwi Lane, and she's from Connecticut originally.
She used to have a store in Connecticut.
And there's quite a group, I guess, a scrapbook at this one community. And they're wanting to know if Linda could come and if she does any kind of classes. Said, oh, yeah.
And then I'll be back at AJ Scrapbook Essentials here in Fort Myers next fall through 2027. Can you believe it, Lee?
Yeah, I can.
Unbelievable. 2027. So, and I usually go there once a month or twice a month. If anybody else wants to come and play, we will come anytime. We're about an hour from the store because of the traffic. We're only I don't know how many miles, but less than 20 miles, about 13, I think it is. You figured.
Something like that. Lori Cox said she's bringing her mom and sister-in-law on May 23rd to Scrap Mania.
Sweet.
She's gonna be there.
Awesome.
So we'll give Stacy a heads up.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then I'm gonna meet up with Pamela on the
Brunette
18th.
said, I hope to meet you all. We should be around.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna make
And
2.
Gail said, I'm jealous. You'll have so much fun.
Well, Gail, you're just gonna have to come. Girl, you're just gonna have to come. Scrap Mania is amazing. I haven't been there since last year.
She's on withdrawals.
I
Ruby
am.
says, busy people. I guess it's safe to say you'll never be bored.
Nope. That's how I get my scrapbooking done. I come to scrapbook with you guys.
Chris says, hi guys, sorry I'm late. Where in Connecticut might you be?
We're not there. That was a store. There's a lady here in Fort Myers that
Fort Myers, Florida.
that stopped at the scrapbook store, AJ Craft Scrapbook Essentials, and she saw my book that I left there, my demo book, and she wanted to know where that person was that designed it. And so they gave him my information, and she called, and she has, I can't remember the name of the place where she's from, but she's living in Fort Myers, and she had a store in Connecticut years ago. And she actually was one of the first stores that actually had Kiwi Lane product in it when they first started. So she was excited to find somebody in the area that actually does Kiwi Lane.
It'd be nice to get to the Connecticut area, though. I've been there for business in Hartford and some of the other areas, but there's just great, beautiful countryside there, also all up into Massachusetts. So we're hoping to get to Connecticut. So I assume, Chris, you must be from Connecticut.
Like I said, I don't remember the store, the name of it. I'll have to see if I can get it from her. Wait a minute. What did I take it? Something doesn't look right.
Linda Miller says, so it'll be 50 years of marriage in 27. I don't know if that statement for Linda and I, it's 79 will be 50 years, but we're closing in fast, aren't we?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Closing in fast. That looks better. Oh my gosh.
Deborah said, Linda, my pencil ran off. It was gone for a couple of days. I guess it fell off the table and landed in the wrong place in my cart. I moved something in my cart, and there was my hiding pencil.
Your Kuru Toga? Love my Kuru Toga pencil. I actually have about 4 or 5 of them around here. Just for that same fact.
She said she just realized that they're going to be in Destin and Tallahassee, Florida next year. She says, maybe we'll have to add a detour south.
There you go. I love that. So where are you going to be at there? I mean, are you coming down to scrapbook? You coming for vacation? We could, if you're doing a crop or something up there, we could possibly just come that way.
Pam Wesson said, I'd love to see the Scrap Mania store.
It's amazing. And, you know, we support local. That's the whole thing. Have I gone to Hobby Lobby and Big and Michael's? Of course. But my majority of my expenditures are the locals.
Yeah, AJ's a local store. Lucy's is a local store over in Michigan.
We went to
you've been trying to
a lot of them out in
trying to get to Long Island, New York to
Renee's Scrapple Latte. No. We just were a little too far.
We were in Edison, New Jersey last year in August. So, no, August.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Start to lose track after a while.
This piece here is so pretty. Like so pretty.
Pretty intricate.
Now I did my layout for the PDF. If you notice, it's got a like a little walkway on it. If you look at one of the pictures, I created one that looked just like the one in the picture. And how I did that is I have one of the journaling templates that, have the lines on it. I don't remember if it was captions or expressions. But what it is, I made the lines from the journal template and then just extended the corners out. So it looked like the walkway. I like to take things, Kiwi Lane makes it so easy to take things and look at them and see what else I can create with them.
Like my lizard.
Like your lizard. I got to get my frog layout done though this time, because the whimsy templates, the big ones, one of them was first thing I saw, it looked like a frog on a lily pad. And I did make it, but it's in my scrapbook room at the villa. So I'm going to have to just make another one. All right, there's one. Oh, so cute. All right. Oh, Gracie's snoring. I heard her. So we had a panther, I guess, last night running through the RB community here. Somebody saw it. I guess there's 4 gators in the pond, which I hope I never see. We seem to miss them, and I'm fine with that.
Well, Chris says, I've not seen a store here yet in Connecticut. He says, but come to Connecticut. She's in New Milford, and I remember New Milford. It's not too far. I remember that area.
We will get to the East Coast, I promise.
Pam Watson says, do you want to come visit the Dallas area?
Oh, we will come out.
Definitely would. Wouldn't be this year, but definitely
Yes.
reach out to Linda, private message her, or reach out to her on Facebook. And if you got some big event or a place that
We'll
have
get it
something,
scheduled
you
next
definitely
year.
come to Dallas.
We know where that's at. We've been there.
We played country music a lot of years. I like a lot of songs from there. George Strait's Linda's one of our favorite singers.
He's my favorite male artist. I actually sang in Tyler, Texas, not too far from there at the fair. It was funny. They set the stage up right next to the pig races. So when the pig races were going on and we were on break, they got to use our microphone and our sound system and used it to announce the pig races. But yeah, memories. Those have been a few years ago.
That was in the last century.
Oh, that makes me feel so
That
old.
was in the early 90s.
So old. So I set my submission in for this next month's templates, the Kit Club, guys. Amazing. I had so much fun. So much fun. Can't wait for you guys to get your kit. If you're not a Kit Club member, you really will not be disappointed if you join, because they're perfection, every one of them. The templates that they create for them are amazing. The color palette is amazing. If you just take the papers out and look at them when you get it, it just sparks creativity.
Pam wants to know where the Scrap Mania store is located. It's in Cedar Rapids,
4750 Tama Street, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And their phone number is 319-377-9999. They have an online store, which is https://shop.scrapmania.com. And they have their Facebook page, which is Scrapmania. So you can't miss it. It's got a big pink, it's not the roof, and it's not a sign per se. It's the facing, what do they call it? Fascia? Is that what they call it? It's bright pink. You can't miss it. But if you're camping, she's also harvest host, so you can stay there overnight. I'm going to cut that piece just a little bit. It's kind of not rounded.
Well, Gail said it's one of her hubby's brothers is moving to Tallahassee, and they're going to be planning a visit. Her aunt also has a vacation rental in Destin,
Ooh.
and she's been telling us to use it. No crops planned, unfortunately. Well, maybe that's something we need to do, huh?
We have wheels. we can go anywhere we choose.
Yeah, Gail said her and George Strait are kindred spirits. They share a birthday, but not the year.
I I think he has the greatest voice, the greatest attitude. Not bad looking either. Pretty good looking guy. Here's one.
And Pam said, wow, that's a long way from me. Yes, it's a long ways away.
But there's an airport right there in Cedar Rapids.
Direct flights to
Yep.
Dallas.
Yep.
I have American Airlines. Anyway, but yeah, we'd come to Dallas. We want to get down that way. There's several people we know down through that way to um not Waco, what's on down from there.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston's way down. We've got friends there too, but north there, I was thinking. When we get down into the hill country, we got a lot of friends around there. We
Yeah.
like that area.
We were hoping to get that direction this year, but the diesel prices kind of are a little more than what we were expecting. And
Well, Linda from Pennsylvania says, do you live in your mobile home 365? And the answer is yes.
yes,
Only thing I would answer different. Ours is actually like a bus. It's got the engine and the twin axles in the back. It's a diesel engine, 4 slide outs in it. We have king size bed, 4 TVs, central vac,
floor heat,
satellite.
fireplace, washer dryer, walk-in closet. We got a lot. Okay, now this one.
San Antonio, we'd love to go to. We've been there a few times
So this,
before the scrapbooking tour. And
I'm gonna bring the same color over here. So I'm gonna use this. But if I use that, that's gonna take up a whole lot of that paper, right? So it was comment about making each of them individual,
each blade.
But I'm gonna show you even a little better trick to do. Okay. We're gonna do 2.
If we go to San Antonio, we got to do the stroll. We've been there. We've done the river walk and some of that area.
We're gonna do just 2. Okay. And you don't have so many to do. If you did 4 of them, it's gonna take a long time. Plus, this doesn't take up as much paper. Okay, there's one set, right? I did those 2. Turn a quarter turn. Guess what? It fits right in here, doesn't it? Pretty doggone good. Look at that.
Like razor blades.
You do look like razor blades.
And Gail said, oh, diesel prices are awful. We have 3 diesel vehicles right now. Yeah, here in Florida, it got up to about $6 a gallon. Of course, the tax is a little higher, but for that anyway.
Okay. That's all the paper I'm taking.
River walk is nice, but it's even better in the boat. We did do the boat, and we had a great time. We spent about a week there. We were on the south side, down close to where one of the missions was at. We did go to the Alamo in town.
Went to was it Ben and Jerry's we went to?
Not there.
Yeah, there was one on the walk. It was Ben and Jerry's.
It could be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Remember Tom Landry's, and I remember some other places.
So this is all the paper it took, as opposed to if you want to do 4, you're going to use up a square like that. So this way, you only use a little strip.
Gail said she paid $5.60 a gallon last week and almost cried. Yeah, ours was up to $5.90 here, $5.95, and we hold 150 gallons.
And only get about 7-8 miles a gallon. Do the math. It's not good. Not
but
good.
Again, we got a nice coach, and
this is our home.
That buying fuel is one of the things that's there. Yeah, even Texas, I know you guys have a lot better fuel prices there, Pam. Florida does not have a state income tax, and neither does Texas. Iowa does not now for retirees, anyway, for your retirement income. But we get hit with taxes in other ways.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Even after we retired, we're still getting hit with taxes.
Yeah, we had friends that were in Canyon Lake, north of San Antonio. We used to have a really good time right there down along the Guadalupe. Stayed at a couple nice campgrounds there. I got a guy I used to work with. He's outside of Austin to the southwest. Can't remember the town he's in, but they built a little place there. It's really nice.
And then you put it together. And you got your windmill. But not done. Not done at all. So this is pretty harsh, right? For me, I think I want to soften it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another color of vellum. And this is what I did on my other layout.
Those do really stick out, those three.
They do. And we're going to soften them up a little bit.
Gail says my SUV gets 40 miles a gallon, so it's not as bad as the motor coach.
That's not bad. And I can get that out of 2.
Rochelle said they went for her son's Air Force graduation and took him to the Riverwalk, and it was beautiful. They went to a steak place, and it was so good. Yeah. Well, thanks for his service.
Definitely. Let's see what this color's got.
Yes, you're right, Gail. Nevada does not have state income tax either. I got a guy who used to work for me. He works and they live now in Pahrump, Nevada.
That's just a funny name, Pahrump.
Comes from the movie.
Okay. Nope. I'll use those. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing.
And Ruby says them taxes don't go away either, no matter how old you get.
All right. So we're going to do 2. How are we doing on time?
About half an hour.
Okay. We're getting there. So there we go.
You can do an airplane with that too.
You could. All right. Still 1. Turn a quarter turn. Line them up. So if you guys have found a little trick to cutting the windmill or tracing it and cutting it,
Fold your paper in quarters and then cut it once.
oh golly.
Gail said they stayed in Pahrump when they went to Death Valley a few weeks ago. So that was in Blazing Saddles. Pahrump, Pahrump, Pahrump. You got a dime? Remember the?
Oh, I remember that. It's got to go that way too. I wonder if I can get that one.
Pam said they got
that's
a
good.
huge break in Texas. No school tax this year.
Wow. Well, that's a good thing. Okay.
Going to the Big D, and I don't mean Dallas. A lot of songs had Dallas in it. And Fort Worth, maybe we used to play Fort Worth. Does that ever cross your mind? Do you remember those songs?
I do remember that. We used to play that in the band.
Yeah, get to that 4 beat.
Yeah, they like to dance to that, didn't they? We played a dance band. The last one we did was really weird. We weren't used to playing in sets of sets of 3, and you do the same style of music so they could dance the same way, and it was just a little weird. Okay, wait.
Amarillo by Morgan on the way to San Antonio. Ruby Harris said you could take another hour or so more and it'll be okay.
Okay, let's do this one this way.
Says they live in Rolette, a suburb of Dallas.
Wait. So I got that one. And this one, yeah, this one goes like this. Okay, here we go. Get it the right direction here. I also got these little vellum pads. There's 3 of them. I got these also at Scrap Mania. Just enough to accent things.
Yeah, Linda sang at a church one time, did a concert in Rockwall, just on the other side of the lake from where you're at. And
Which-
Mesquite, we stayed in Mesquite at a Days Inn.
That was not good.
It wasn't a bad hotel. That's the one that you walked in
And the trucker was there, heard my name, and
and
saw me.
I just heard your song on the radio.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, Linda was out and Tyler and then you went and did the fair at Longview, is where you had been.
Oh, I thought it was.
We came back here from Longview.
I thought it was Tyler.
Well, you kind of did a little bit of all that. Then we had friends from Mineola, Texas there. Yeah, but you did the county fair at Longview.
There. This pencil erase is great, guys. If you make it a little bit of a boo-boo and you want to correct it, highly recommend the Kuru Toba pencil. All right.
And then you also did concerts up more over at Denton. You did a couple in Denton area. And we stayed in Arlington one night with the RV.
I remember that.
Beautiful place. And we had to park, kind of parallel park. And look, where's that other place we went to?
Now, if I would have used probably the yellow on these instead of the orange, it would have softened it up a little bit more. And, but I really wanted the
Alvarado, we stayed there once. Anyway, I'll stop.
You're fine. You're just fine. Just cutting these out. And of course, I'll put a little something over the middle since I have so many layers, right? Oh, the air conditioner in the back kicked on. Woohoo! That'll bring some up. Wait a minute. I didn't do something right. Yeah, let's see here. What do we got going on? I forgot to mark one. There it is. Like that doesn't look right. That's better. Whew. All right, here we go. Much better. Okay, there's one. We got two. These don't take very long. Just round and around.
Pam, since you went to college and Denton.
That was a nice church.
So Linda wants to know, how hard is it driving your motor home that big long distances? Linda does most of the driving, and
My longest is 14 hours.
most
the
time we
longest.
go 6 hours, 5 hours.
No more than 8. Just got this out.
We do a few hundred miles a day, and we just come to a place and park. And
It's funny though, the dog, she will not go to the bathroom until we get stopped at the next park. We can't go. She will not go on truck stops. She will not go in
unless it's
rest
kind of
areas.
quiet with grass. We've driven in a neighborhood before,
Yeah.
like at a park in a town, stop the coach, and she'll get out and go, but she'll be hesitant.
Yeah. She does not like noise, especially when you hear like the air valves go off somewhere or brakes go off or something backing up with that beep beep. Yeah, she's back at the coach. She was like, nope, forget it. And she does like around here, we don't keep her on a leash. She has an e-collar and we don't have to zip her. We just have to use the buzz, and then the buzz tells her that she's in the wrong place. She shouldn't be there. And the bell one, she actually comes back. She knows she's supposed to come back on that one. So smart dog, too smart.
Rochelle wants to know, do we pull a car? We have a Jeep Grand Cherokee we pull behind. It seats 7, and it works out pretty slick, and it's easy to prepare for 4-wheel down towing. And
Yeah, Lee likes it.
That's our travel when we're in an area. Coach is just too big to get to a lot of areas.
But we've taken it down some very interesting places, let me tell you.
Pam said, I would want my hubby to drive a big thing like that, and I would never drive one of those.
Oh, it's so fun.
If you guys have an event sometime in Dallas, we'll come out and you'll get a chance to see it.
We did that in Nebraska with Nikki and Johnny and
Well, we did one where we were in Cincinnati. We had some people from Kentucky come up and come to the coach, and you guys scrapbook for a while.
Yep.
We did it in North Carolina with Pam and them.
Gwen. Yeah.
Yeah. Had a little scrapbooking session.
They wanted to watch a live too, so they sat in here and watched the live as we did it.
And we set up some tables. I think there was 4 ladies in there scrapbooked, and
Yep.
me and the dog kind of found a place to hide out.
All right, got one.
Linda says, what kind of dog?
A black boxer. She's actually, they call her a seal. She's black with a little bit of white.
And a little bit of like a peanut
Yeah,
butter
it's
color.
kind of like the old reverse brindle, only it's not brindle. It's black with just a little bit of brindle.
She said they've been thinking about getting a small dog.
I wanted a Frenchie is what I wanted, because we've had boxers. This is our 4th one, and we love the boxer, don't get me wrong, but I really wanted a small dog. And of course, Lee's like, nope, we're going to do another. We're going to do another boxer. And this one does not like him very well.
Well, and Pam says can't imagine her husband driving. She never could. Gail said, that's funny, Pam. My hubby's now thinking we need to retire in a motor coach.
Oh, it's so much fun.
London Lee.
There you go. And you know what's really cool is traveling together with somebody else. That's a lot of fun. When you can go and spend time together and see and do things together. It's a lot of fun.
There's our coach.
No, we can hold it up.
I don't know if they'll be able to see.
Oh, we got it upside down.
Oh.
All right, so that's our coach. This is the lot where we're at right now, where we live at in the wintertime. So it's not a very good one, but that's our coach.
Not a very good picture because
Yeah.
Lee took it, but it's a great lot.
We have, what is it, about 8,000 square foot the lot is, something like that.
Yeah. There's one you don't see much of the coach, but it's got more of the.
That's more of the lot. That's where we're sitting right now. Can you see it on the video? Okay.
Still, it's not. Very
It's home away
it's
from
not a
home.
very good picture.
Home is where you park it. The one thing,
That's where your heart is.
I will tell you. Well, so we sold our home to actually Stacy from Scrapmania.
House.
Our house. We sold our house, and we downsized once, and then we downsized again. We had a storage unit, and then we downsized again. And I think
Someday we're gonna get it right.
pretty much we don't have a lot left, which is nice. We did buy a villa about 15 minutes from here, so when the kids come down, they have a place to stay, or if friends come. I know Deborah's been hinting about coming, and it'll be our place when we're done. When we are done motorhoming, we can't do it anymore. We will make Fort Myers our home. That's the plan anyway.
Of course, after Gail's comment, Pam says, no. She says, we like our home. And Linda says, cool.
You know,
It's
it was
not for
hard.
everybody.
No. I mean,
And there's times we miss our old home too.
I miss the kitchen.
Yeah, our kitchen is about as big as half our motorhome.
Yeah. My scrapbook room was really nice too. All right, we got one more little piece here.
And I got the basement.
What do you mean you got the basement? That's where you kept the music.
Scrapbook room
Hmm.
was big. Just kept getting bigger.
There was a sunroom right
And
off
big.
the scrapbook room.
And bigger.
Hey, I gave up my scrapbook room when COVID hit and you came home.
Yeah, then I went to the basement.
All right, let's get this kind of put together. I haven't inked it. But what we're going to do is we're going to offset this.
Put it buried in it. A little
Yeah.
battery and have it spin.
All right. Well, I do need to ink it. This one anyway. get it done really quick.
Pam says she loves her scrapbook room her hubby had built for her 2 years ago.
Yeah, this house that we built was supposed to be our forever home. It was 7 years old when we sold it, but it was just too much.
I
to
made
take
all
care
the
of.
doors, even external doors, 3 foot wide, even inside. So I figured the day they gotta put me in a body bag, they could get me out the door easy enough or out of the house. But didn't I?
Funny, yes, he did.
That's what I told the builders.
Yep, he did. Okay, let me go
Linda wants to know,
this.
how do you keep all your scrapbook and stuff in a motorhome?
Well, so the like my big furniture and stuff is at the villa, and
Be in
it
storage.
used to be in storage, but with Kiwi Lane, you don't need a lot. I do have Lee did take the motorhome and modified it a little bit. Like my table, usually a motorhome table's like 3 foot, 4 foot max. Mine goes out to 6 foot. He had it built
The dining
with,
table.
yes. And then behind the TV and the
So we don't get
fireplace.
to eat here.
No, but he's being nasty. Behind the TV, we had him build a shelving unit, and the TV opens out on like a piano hinge. And then
It's a big cabinet.
and then the below it is a fireplace, and that's on a hinge, so there's storage behind there. And the floor plan that we have, this is an Integra Anthem, and it has a rear walk-in closet. On one side is the washer and dryer, and on the other side are uh, a cabinet with 3 big shelves, and then below it is 3 drawers.
Like a dresser.
Yes. So there's plenty of room. And of course, any place I could stick something, I do. All right, let's get this put together here. All right, here we go. We're gonna do, make sure I get the right way here. Yep, this side first. This side. And then this side.
The other thing that's nice about Kiwi Lane, it has a lot of portability to it. So when Linda goes and does these staying plays that you're talking about, it's like she just has like, they're not 31 bags, but they're like the old 31 bags. You can put some stuff in. We take out a few of those, go in the back into the Jeep, and she goes to an event.
Like I have all my templates in a three-tier rolling cart, and the little baskets that are inside of it just
They're
pop right out.
probably a little over 12 inches by 10 inches.
Yeah.
And she has all the templates.
Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, here we go. Get this last one on. Hey, no yawning at the table. No yawning.
Oxygen.
All right, get this on. All right. And that's our windmill. And you can see how it softens it up, right? All right, let's go ahead and get those down. I'll get this on first. Let me hold it together. All right. And then I'll put something over the middle, right? All right, we're gonna glue this.
So Pam wants to know, do you have all your Kiwi Lane templates with you?
Yes, every last one of them.
And she has more than one whole set because she also has she has almost another whole complete set that is what she takes to these where people on a stay and play, people come to scrapbook, they can come up and take a template out, go use it and bring it back. It's all free of charge, but it gives them a chance to like test drive before you'd ever consider purchasing a set of templates or a kit. And that works out really well. So she really has 2 complete set
No,
of
well,
templates.
no, more than that.
You know,
Okay.
but you got 2.
Okay, so I have 2 sets of my own personal that I have with me all the time. Because a lot of times, if it's just me going to a crop somewhere, somebody will want to use it. And so if I have an extra set, they can use it. The other thing on the class templates. So when COVID hit years ago, oh, by the way, these are 0.4 and they're just a little bit larger. When COVID hit, we used to vendor, and took a lot of product. We had probably 10 totes full of product that we carried. But when COVID hit, we didn't vendor anymore. And I know a lot of people sold their templates, and I did not. What I did is I turned them into class templates, and then we just would do small
Stay and play.
stay and play kind of type. Now I'm going to leave that like that. I'm not going to tack it down because this is going to give it some movement. Even inside of my book, it'll give it some movement. All right, now we'll put this one down. So anyway, I turned them into class templates, and that's what they have been. Like all the stay and plays that I do, the templates are out, and everybody can use them that wants to use them. So, and then my personal templates, like it's stay and plays, I don't usually let them use the personal ones unless there's something in particular they're used or looking for. Because like I said, I have all of them, and I have 2 sets of pretty much all of them, sometimes 3. Like tiny plants, I have 3 sets of those because I use them a lot. But they have walked off at some of my stay in place. And so I don't put my personal ones out unless I keep track of them. So not to say that I don't let people use them, I do, but.
Deborah said, I keep dreaming and scheming, Linda. I'd love to visit you too.
Okay, there's that and that. And this one we're going to do 0.8.
We'll be back next October sometime and here all winter.
Yes. Let me get these down. Now, I'm not going to tack all this down because I know we're going to run out of time. And I don't want to keep you guys.
Tammy from up in Ohio says, I love to watch Linda create the pages and listen to your conversation.
Aww.
I love how much Lee's involved with scrapbooking.
All right, so now this one goes here. I'll put it up just a little because I want to get to that title. I want to show you. There it is. Show you what I did for the title. So on this one, I'm actually using a lot more vellum on here because I think vellum, it softens things, but it also gives you movement.
So you put on the wings of a butterfly, it looks like it's flying, or a bee.
I'm not straight. Hang on, I gotta put it up right. I can't see if I'm straight.
It might be straight. The one above it might not have been straight.
No, it's not.
But you do have grid papers, so
yeah, I know, but I didn't know if the grids were actually straight because what I did is I lined it up on the side, but I wasn't sure. Now I do want to map this one. I won't forget that. All right, let's get these down over here. I'm gonna move it this way just a tad.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna put these on.
Out of sight bit.
Getting close.
Yeah, and I just let everybody know it does seem kind of far away at times. We've toyed around with lowering the camera down more, but then we get to the point where sometimes things slip off, and it's sometimes just hard to really get it set just right
All right.
for everybody.
And this does not have to be perfect when you ink it. It just kind of gives it.
It does.
Oh, it just kind of gives it identification. This kind of makes it realistic. Look, when you ink the vellum. Okay, just a little bit here and there. I don't have to do the whole thing.
And I'm just being sarcastic on that. It is perfect, I think, with Kiwi Lane. It's not really true perfection, but you can just totally exceed your expectations. I do believe that fully.
Yeah. So
100%.
The story, I don't know if you guys heard of it, how I got into it. I started in 2010. I saw him at a show. And I couldn't get in to see him. There was all these ladies around.
We were at a convention center in Atlanta, Georgia.
And I'm like, okay,
on the east side.
I'll just come back. Well, about an hour later, I come back and there were still 3 ladies deep. And one lady shifted just a little, and I got in there to see the books. They basically just had their scrapbooks out. And I knew I was looking for something because I had been scrapbooking my own way. And not that it was wrong.
15 years before that.
I mean, I did use some creative memories, but I never liked the creative memories itself as a
whole complete system. Yeah. You still use some of it.
And so anyway, I saw their book and I went around the front And I said, I want one of everything. And she said, excuse me? I said, I want one of everything. And she goes, what's going to be expensive? I said, I don't care. I held up my credit card. I said, my husband gave me a credit card. There's no balance on it. We're good. So I got one of everything. And they gave me the very first book, the blue, #1. And I went out to we had an old motorhome back then. And Lee's outside setting with our friends. And he said, you're done already? He's like, yep, got all I want. He goes, well, let me see what you got. So I showed him and he goes, you bought plastic? I'm like, yeah, but look what you can do. And I gave him the idea book. And then he goes, you can do this with those. And I'm like, yep. He's okay. I think you're onto something. Because I was making my own borders, guys. Remember the old stencils that had different, well, they had shapes on the side, and then they would have like cutouts of different things. And I would make my own pieces, not knowing that there was an actual company who did that for me. So anyway, that's how it all started. All right. Now this one, okay, here's plain. Here's this. That one I kind of off-centered it just a little bit, right? So let me show you what that looks like. Oops, let me get a hold of it here. Okay, there is just a little bit. That's nice. But watch this when I do this. Look at the fullness and the softness you get by doing just a little more. All right, I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue here and there, kind of mostly in the middle. Now we're going to put it together.
Pam started buying Kiwi Lane in the summer of 2011.
Not too longer than I did. Okay.
Linda Miller said, this is the second time I've watched you two. Love your ideas, the information, and the banter.
Good. All right. Now, I'm just going to let that dry just a second. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Although I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to go this way down. Okay. Because I want the softness and the flow to be down. I want it opposite. The lightness needs to be downward. All right. So we do lives also on Scrapmania's Facebook page every Sunday night. So that's at 6:00 Eastern, 5:00 Central. So if you want to watch that, just join the Facebook
And you
page.
go look, they're also recorded.
Yep.
They're available for about 30 days or something like
All
that.
right, let's get these down.
And I know you also just talked about Linda's been going to get going on YouTube. We've been
Oh, it's been a
just
challenge.
getting the time to get onto it.
Been a challenge. All right, let's get these down.
Donna Rogers says, hi, Linda and Lee. I would not have thought about putting vellum with this kit, but it looks awesome. Where did you get those vellum pads?
Scrapmania. There's 3 different ones, and they're by Studio Light. There's pinks, purples, reds, there's blues, purples.
So you get a pad, it's got all of its shades of that primary color. And they're just 6 by 8, aren't they? Or 8 by 8.
$8. They're 24 sheets, 12 different colors, 5 to 5, 8 by, so it's
8 by 8.
8 by, okay, now I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1,
6
2,
by
3,
8.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 by 8.
So they're A5 size, which is a
Yep.
drafting paper size.
There it is. Okay, where did I leave off?
And you're right, Pam.
What's that?
She said, I knew Linda would say she got from Scrapmania. I think there's other places, but it was kind of hard to find vellum, and Stacy didn't always have
She's
a lot of vellum.
12 by 12. The only thing she has are white. Now there's different shades, different thicknesses she has, and patterns of the white. But yeah, she doesn't this is the first colored one she's been able to get.
There's sometimes Linda will tell Stacy what she's looking for, and if she don't have it, the next big convention she goes to, she'll look around for it.
Now,
Or if we see something at a convention, like the Mega Meet, we were up there one time, found some neat stuff. We were down at one time in Lebanon, Tennessee. Remember that
Yep.
one?
Creative Memories carries 12 by 12 vellum. So if you have a Creative Memories person, you can get some from there. They've got really cool shades of blue.
And I think you bought some
Okay, put
in
0.4 on
New
it.
Jersey last year
Yes,
from the lady you met that was Creative Memories.
I did. Okay, so this one, I can put these two here, but I'm going to have to use the smaller ones in the corners because
They'll-
the vellum.
yeah, they'll overlap.
Right,
Yeah, last year around Labor Day, Linda, we were out, we were staying in Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania. And after being in New Jersey and I just forgot her name, from up north of Harrisburg, was gonna have you come into a crop there, then you got not feeling well, so you weren't able to go.
Oh, Trisha's? Yeah.
Not Tricia, is it?
Yeah. Well, I had a major headache that day. It was not good. I get migraines, really severe ones from an auto accident a few years ago. And I keep chugging along. The scrapbooking keeps me going. All right, so we're gonna do this.
She has a whole bunch of colored vellum that's 12 by 12, and it's really old. I should dig it out.
There you go. I think I'm gonna put that on that side. Okay, the only thing I did not get done was the goose. All right,
Pam
here we
said
go.
I do have one. I'm going on a 4-night and 5-day retreat with her for National Scrapbook Day.
There you go. I don't know if Scrapmania's announced anything for scrap, yeah, for for National Scrapbook Day. I don't know.
So who was Pam going with for the retreat? With her. For
Okay,
National
I
Scrapbook
didn't
Day.
get my goose, but my goose is gonna go there. We've got the flower. Now let's put these little babies on. Make sure I got them right. That one there. I may not need that other one. I may just do this one. Or let's see what it looks like with this one.
Oh, creative memory dealer. Thank you, Pam.
I'm wondering.
Kind of gets in the way of the
It does
picture.
get, well, I'm just wondering if I can just do part of
Turn
it. No, watch this. Okay, guys, we're gonna do some surgery.
Amputation.
Yep. That's not bad. That's actually pretty cool.
Save the little piece, put it somewhere else.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's cool. But I may just do one. I don't know. Let me get this one down and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Again.
Gail says, cut it up.
So you do not have to follow any rules other than you need to create. Don't stop creating. Okay, that should do it.
And Pam says Kiwi Lane paper is far superior to the creative memory paper.
Yes. Well, here's the thing with Creative Memories. You got to remember their big advertising is not to have thickness in the book. They don't use a lot of like elevators. They don't use, well, I think they started doing some, but they don't use like the gems, the layers of paper as much as we do with Kiwi Lane.
But they fit in the books fine, and some of your books are or Creative Memories books.
I like that it lays over top. And I think I need to look at
away from the
this.
picture.
No, I need to look at this because I kind of think I like it just like that. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to get another eyeball look at it, but I may not do all of this on there. Okay, we're just going to save that. But what I want to get to is this down here. I want to show you a little bit of the doodling and what I did for the title. Oh, I got to put this baby down, don't I? Where's my yellow?
Got them at it first.
Yep, got them at it. I'm hoping there's enough. Okay, where's my 4.5, 7.5? Here it is. This one, right here. All right. Get over there as close as I can.
So it's a picture mat template.
This is a photo mat template. Yes, this is a 4.5 by 6.5, which will mat perfectly around the 4 by 6. All right. Now,
Gail said when she makes layouts for other people, she said I keep it way less bulky than my personal pages because that's what most people ask for.
yes. Okay, I'm going to use my decal scissors. And we're going to go right around the edge for a mat. This is another way to get a texture without doing much of anything. Just using some old-fashioned scissors. And there we go. And what's nice too, like if I don't use that other piece, I've got plenty of paper. I can use that on another one. No problem at all. I'm just going to do a little bit here. This is going to give us a nice little mat. There we go. Ink it. Oh, that's cute. Cute, cute. One more thing though. I'm going to take another piece of paper. This is just a cream pearl piece. And I'm going to do an itty bitty 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 mat around it. Just real itty bitty bitty bit.
So it's gonna be a double mat.
Double mat. Yep. Love me a double mat.
Is that like a malt with extra malt?
I gotta go over a little more. All right, let's try that. Need a little more.
When Linda gets a malt, it's not with extra malt.
It's extra malt.
malt.
Extra malt. Little more.
Ruby says, I love my creative memory albums, but I don't care for their papers.
Yeah.
And Linda uses their albums too.
I actually bought a sofa couch table to put behind the couch to put my albums on at the villa. And it's okay. It's okay. But it's not, it's very full. Oh, I should take a little more off to this side. Hold on. Now I'm not throwing these little shards away. You guys know, watching me, these little shards are fun to use.
Ties them in little bows, glues them down,
Make
put
things
them in
fun.
flowers and looks up.
Okay, let's sit this down. And this is just a little off-white, little cream pearl. It's going to give us a little something extra. There. Sweet. Okay, put this one down. And then we're going to do title. How are we doing? We got to be close.
All your past time.
Oh, no.
It's 5 after.
All right. We're almost
That's all
there.
right. Oh, 4 minutes and 24 seconds if you want me to be exact.
Oh, of course you have to be exact.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm going to bring this one up just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. All right. Now, my baggie. Here it is. And once I get the doodling and all that on.
And the gems and.
All right. So what I did is I used my die cut machine and I left it out. I know I left it out. Here it is. Oh, you guys wanted to see what the folder was. This is it, the Spellbinder embossing folder. It's the linen. That's what it is, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, I use this letter, Sizzix. It's from 49 and Market, and I have no idea. It's 666808. That's all I can tell you. Fine Line Alpha 02 by 49 and Market, but it's also Sizzix. So what I did is I took the green vellum, and then I took gold. I made two and put the vellum behind the gold. Okay. And I'm going to start with the last letter first. Oh, gotta put another L there. And what it does is it kind of gives it the look of a shadow. Silly. G O O S.
You're going to use a ruler or count the slots to
And
make
E.
sure you got the spacings just right?
Yeah, I will. I'll put it on in the morning anyway. There it is. And like Lee said, we could take this. I could take one, use these little shards.
Or if you got a flower, you could just stick it up straight. Don't have to have a bow.
Yep. You could tie it around his neck. Just like you would use twine. Use your paper. Get a hold of it.
Angela Bishop from up in Indiana says, I would love you to show us
Yes.
your different doodlings that you use on your pages.
Okay.
I feel like that I do the same ones all the time. So maybe that's something we can work in.
Yeah, I could do that right now. Do a couple of them. All right. Well, it's not perfect, but just tie and then put a little glue on it. Tie a little paper bow around your goose. You can do the same thing over here. All right. So doodling. Let me grab my black pen. All right. So where's the white one? Let me grab my white one.
You know, also the Jim's also does a lot too, but the doodling.
Oh, here it is. I know it was in there. Thanks to Gail. All right. So, for instance, on this one, I plan on just doodling the windows. So, we're just going to use a white pen. Make a little window. This is the 0.6, just a real light one, right? Okay, you can leave it like that. If you want to, you could, well, let's see, you could do like an X on it. You could do some shutters on the side. On the windmill itself, the little bar things. Let me take this. What I did on the one in the PDF, I took the vellum on behind and put my design there. Okay. But on this one, I think, I don't know if it was Deborah or Shiloh. One of you guys did it actually on this part. Mhm. Need my ruler. So like on this one, right where it
At the root
stops,
of the blade.
okay, make a line down. And do that all the way around first. Give that a few seconds to dry. I'm using my black lip pen. My mom used to doodle when she was on the phone a lot. She had party lines back then, and she would just doodle as everybody was talking. So I
Just
kinda
using a
got
big pen and a little paper pad.
Yep. Okay. So you can stop with that, or if you want to, you can do lines down. And this ruler has a little bit of a rounded edge. Use that to your advantage. Okay. So the little end, when I get to the top, that little round kind of gives it a little movement instead of straight. So you can do this all the way down on the blades. Doesn't have to be perfect, but use your tools to their fullest potential.
You know, you talk about the rounding of that ruler. Back when I was in drafting school in the 70s, the rulers were like that. And they told us because we used to use ink pens, the kind that had you fill them full of ink.
Right.
And they did that so that your ink didn't run underneath your ruler. Because if you drew a line with ink along a ruler, it'd start to wick underneath.
Yep.
And that was the reason for the rounded edges.
Never knew that. Good information.
Yeah. Pam says I don't doodle on my pages.
You don't have to. It's whatever you want. All right. So there's just a doodle, and I'll do that all the way around. On the borders, it sits about this side. So what I like to do is just simple straight stitch,
Dot, dot, dash.
or what Lee's saying, you could do a line. You do one, or you can do 3 dots in a line. 1, 2, 3 dots. Line 1, 2, 3 dots. And do that all along your edge. I've also done it where the dots are, you could put gems. So you do a line of drawing and then gems. You could also do a line and 2 slash marks. You can do X's. You can do X. Oh, I've done that before. If you look up online and doodle, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of different kinds of doodles. Me, I'm pretty simple. I just do something simple like that. Okay.
Well, Pam said my art ability is very basic, and that's fine. You know, that works great on it. Angela Bisher says she loves the ruler tip.
Yeah. And then these, when it has the stencil through it, so what you can do is go ahead and make the lines with this. And then you could take like Nouveau drops or stickles, whatever you want, or if you want to do gems on it, just go ahead and put that on those lines. The same thing with this one. Oh, let me grab that there. There it is. Like with this one, what I'll do is you can go ahead and make the entire thing and fill it in, or just make the outline. And then you get those. You could also make an extra piece of this and put on it. Just doodle the line like that. On these particular things, let me grab my white pen again.
Gail says I tend to do a double wiggly line because I can't draw a straight line to save my life, and my mistakes look intentional.
And that's perfectly fine. You can also do stitching with what she was talking about and just do lines like that. And then just do some stitch lines. Do reverse up here. Do stitch lines. And a line like this, and a line like that. I never make them touch. 99% of the time, I don't make them touch. Okay. Why? Because it closes the eye off.
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally, but it'll close it off. Okay, so like this one and this one. And we'll go ahead and do here. And let's go ahead and do this all the way around. This one we'll do lines. Can you see it, Lee? Okay.
Not really.
All right, I'll hold it up.
I mean, I'm watching the real thing here. I can see it fine, but not so much in the video.
All right. I'll hold it up. Just give me a second here. I'll finish it up.
Gail said, I have to admit that almost any time you see the double wiggly line, it started with the high hopes of being a straight line, only to falter.
All right.
Just don't lose your gold letters, sir.
No, they're right here. We're good. Okay. You guys see that? No?
A little bit. It's really far away when it's.
Go farther up close?
Yeah, that's better.
You see it? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's using both. You can do that. I wish I could tell you what else. Gems. That might be it. That kind of helps too. And adding extra little flowers with the different colors and stuff. This really helps a lot. The gems, the choice between pearls or rhinestones is a personal thing. If you like rhinestones, use rhinestones. This one, and perhaps we could use as another layer for our borders. And I'm sure a lot of you still have stuff like this in your
I mean,
stash.
they could see it. They'd love to mix the lines.
All right. So I'm going to pull one off. Normally I cut it and then you just peel it back as it goes. But we can do this. And I'm not going to put it right on the edge. I'm going to put it probably about 1/4 of an inch
Indent.
away from the edge. You get a hold of it here. I'm a little far away. Now, I'll have to show you sometime how I use it with a stamp block and some of those fancy ones. All right, here we go. And if it's not quite 12, just center it a little bit. You're moving the place, honey. Walk quietly. Okay, so there's one.
Pam says, love your layout. So cute. And she does use a lot of enamel dots in her pages.
Yep.
Ruby says, very cute.
Okay. I'm reaching over top. Let me go this way. There we go. Oop. Might take you a few times to get it where you want it, especially when it's not a true 12 inch. There, got it. And you can make a pencil mark too if you know where you want to put it. All right. So there's that. So that just kind of brightens it up a little bit. Let's see here. You could take, always work in odds, okay? So got that and that. Where's this one? That one could be fun too. This is a different size. So let's go like that. And you can put them around your letters. You can put some over here. And this gives you, and like I said, always work in odds. And if you want to add more colors, you can do that. Something like that. So yeah, that's it. And then maybe put some gems or pearls around the corner here, maybe around one of the pictures that you want to highlight, or you can put more flowers around one of them. Just whatever trips your trigger, so to speak. I hope that helps. But as far as like doodling on there, the best thing I could tell you is just look online for different doodles and one that inspires you. I don't get very far from the dashes or dot dashes or slash ones. So pretty standard on that. Once in a while I'll get creative, but I like to stay simple on that part. Oh, and then if you have pictures that you don't want to mat, you can also do a line, dot line that way around it. And that also gives it some identification too. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to call it tonight and I'll finish her up probably first thing in the morning and I'll get it posted, get it to Abby because she puts it with the video. And hopefully that'll help you guys. If I do something else that I will put it in the comments and stuff too, so you'll know what it is. All right, I hope that helps you, inspire you to create something with this month's kit. Don't forget, I think there's a PJ Playdate yet, maybe, or has it already been? I don't know. You have to look at the community and see what the events are. But you can use this not just for Easter, not just for theme specific. We used it for mini golf. So let the paper inspire you on your creation. I can't wait to see it. So I will see you guys in the community or on the Scrap Mania Live. And until we see you again, happy scrapping.